Hello, it's me again. Right, that's us back from letting this have a wee rest and the balancer catch up and do its thing. So I'll turn it up to a 10 amp charge in a second. So we're 9 millivolts on the left bank, 53.5 volts. And the right bank, cell number 9's right down, below 3.4 cell deviations, right down, 53.48. I'll call that a resting voltage of 3.34. So we're all quite equal. Turn the inverter up to 10 amps, which is an extremely low C rate. So it's still nice and gentle on the cells. See how quickly cell number 9 runs away this time, and what the maximum deviation is. What I will do after this, it's been suggested in the previous comments by Cole, which is pretty good suggestion, is to close up, narrow down on the overcell protection voltage and the overcell recovery voltage. Narrow that down a little bit. And what I might also do is I might trim the over voltage protection down from the spiky pointy end of the charge curve at 3.6. I might turn that down to 3.55 to take a bit of pressure off, as I said, at the spiky painful end. We'll see how it goes. Back in a minute. So here we go, negligible difference after maybe another hour and a half. So 232 millivolts. So yeah, exactly the same. So what we shall do, verify password, 1 2 3 4 5 6, verify advanced settings. I'm going to bring the overcell voltage protection down out of the pointy spicy end a little bit. That has the effect of closing the over voltage protection recovery, so that's that narrowed back down again. And do the same to the other side, keep everything equal. Verify password, 1 2 3 4 5 6. That's going to get boring quickly. 3.55. Okay. So that's that narrowed down. Balance start voltage, I'll leave that alone for the time being. Just double check, 3.55. Double check again, 3.55. So they're both present and correct. Instead of letting it have a rest period, where I've taken it down out of the really painful part of the charge curve, where I've dropped it down a little bit, I won't let it have a rest period. I'll just let the inverter float, which I think it might be on the one side of things. Yeah, so there's still nothing going into that. The float voltage was 55 volts. The inverter overreads slightly compared to the JK BMSs, but the inverter overread slightly to the Dali BMSs by about the 0.4 of a volt, 0.3 of a volt. So there's a little bit of an offset, but not too bad. I'll just keep an eye on the rushing current from side to side, but it shouldn't be too bad at this state of charge. We're getting right up there now. Here we go with cell number 9. I've got about the volt delta between the two sides, so it'll be interesting to see 40 amps again. And there it goes, quickly tapers off. Battery's full. So that didn't take very long at all. That didn't take very long at all. And still got about the volt delta between the two packs. So what I might do is tickle the bulk and the float down on the inverter. There's my calculator. So 55 divided by 16, giving me 3.43 volts. So if I go down to 54 divided by 16, 3.375, round about the state we're at the moment. So if I go to 54.5, we'll try that with the bulk and the float, just to take the pressure off a little bit, give it a bit more time to do something, and then work my way back up. Right, so I've just gone in and tweaked my float voltage down to 54.5, and onto the left bank, which is the bank that's been behaving itself and good so far. You see the cell deviations up at 0.81, so they're right in the steep part of the charge curve as well and starting to split apart. So that's encouraging signs as well, that everything's getting a little bit closer together. So as the voltage starts to drop down a little bit on the left bank, now on the right bank, the inrush current from side to side shouldn't be as high, so it should just give things a bit more of a less stressful time. Not that it's that stressful, it's still a low C rate, but you don't want one cell to get abused right up the top. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Do 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 do. It's gone back up. The other thing I was going to do as well is with the inrush current, it always seems to be 40 amps. I'm going to see what the protection is set at in the app settings on the JK BMSs. See if that's doing its thing and throttling back a mad bigger inrush current. There we go, nearly. There we go. So that was that down to 25 amps. So that's a bit nicer and gentler. I'll let that tick away as is. I shall just leave it alone. Change as little as possible at once so that I don't get myself tied up in a knot. And I'm going to go and chuck a chicken in the oven for a roast dinner. Yummy. I'll keep the updates coming and see how it goes. A couple of hours time, maybe. Thanks very much for putting up with my waffle. We'll get there.